All right. Protecting your peace is a full-time job nowadays. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm talking about like it almost seems like when you don't want to be around anybody, when you don't want to hang out with somebody, that's when they want to come around. Because people don't respect you until you give them distance, you know? You ever heard the phrase, you don't know what you got till it's gone? That's a true phrase, bro. And people will not respect you and not, you know, they won't realize what they have with you until you give them absence. And that's kind of a strategy that I do a lot. I've been stepping away from people that are not, a wolf in sheep clothing, And when you actually start protecting your peace, when you decide, okay, these people aren't for me anymore, I'm not fucking with them. That's when those people are going to come around more and more. It's like they don't want you to gain that strength without them, And maybe I'm just tripping, but that's what it seems like to me. I spend a lot of time alone, and I'm learning to love it. Really, learning to appreciate it. It's peaceful. And I was at Chipotle yesterday, and I was eating a bowl, and I was eating inside the restaurant. I was watching the anime Monster, which is a great anime, by the way. I'm really loving it. But I was sitting there by myself at the table, just watching an episode of Monster while I was eating my Chipotle, and I was looking around. I was seeing all these people with people, you know, and it's kind of sad, bro. It's like I'm not complaining. I'm not saying, "Oh, I don't have people." No, I'm like, it's kind of sad. Like these people feel like they need people, I would hate to get to that point. I've been there before. But yeah, man, I can't get around people because people just want to talk about themselves. And I get it, dude. Like, if it's not about them, they're not interested. Isn't that crazy? If it's not about them, they're not interested. Why would you want to be around people like that? And that's everybody, dude. Maybe including myself. I've been working on trying to listen and ask people questions about themselves because people don't give a fuck about you, your problems, what you got going on, none of that shit. They just want to talk about themselves. And so when you know that about people, when you learn that about human nature, if you got money in the bank, if you got your own place, if you got a place where you could be away from everybody, why not? Why get around these fucking vultures? Why be around vultures, dude? And that is power. Like having your own spot, having a place where you can hang out at without being bothered, having money to pay your bills where you don't even need to reach out to. And if you don't want to, you can just ignore everybody. That's what I do. It's powerful. People don't like that shit. They don't like you to have that much power, dude. Because now they can't fuck with you. I got a buddy of mine, right? He's no Brad Pitt. But the guy's trying to say, he's getting lucky with the ladies and like, if dude, like everybody's struggling with dating right now. So like, yeah, everybody's struggling except for you, bud. He lives at home with his parents. He's over 35 years old. Lives at home with his parents. They got 6 dogs. He's awkward. He's short. Bad social skills. I doubt he's killing it, but he's lying just so he can feel macho. Because we were talking, and I gave him a little bit of reality check. It's like, hey, dude, most guys aren't all that. Most guys are average or probably below average, dude. Because most guys don't take care of themselves. They don't fucking brush their teeth. They don't fucking, groom and, and like guys are always going to give themselves a higher rating. So I asked him, I was like, what do you think you are? He's like, well, I'm at least a 6 out of 10. And if somebody tells you what they think they are, like if a girl tells you their body count, you might have to add a couple, If a guy tells you his body count, you might have to subtract a couple. And yeah, so a guy is always going to rate himself higher than he actually is. And I told him, I was like, dude, you're average at best, bro. You got work, you got improvement. You can get lean, you can get a better haircut, you can dress better. There's a lot of things. You can be more groomed, go work on your social skills. There's so many things that he can do to make himself more attractive. And when I told him that, he didn't like that, really. I could tell. So he started making up lies about him getting laid to make me seem like I'm wrong. Like, no, you're wrong, buddy. No, apparently I look good enough because I got laid. I'm getting laid, so you're wrong type shit, Hold on, I'm gonna take my eggs and coffee to the table. I'll meet you at the table. Like, even like my own family, dude. I had a little bit of an altercation with my brother. I ended up putting hands on him because he was getting very disrespectful. You can't talk to a man however you want and expect a man to just take it. This is the real world, bro. It's just easier to be alone, dude. I'm telling you. I like people, but I like the idea of being with people, but people are just selfish vultures, just want to talk about themselves, in it to win it, in it for themselves, trying to impress the Jones. That's another thing, bro. Like, people ask me why I don't have a girlfriend. The reason why I don't have a girlfriend is because the world operates on this hierarchy, you know? So if you don't want to participate, people are going to automatically think you're low value. Even if you got 70 racks in the bank, but you drive a shitty car, you wear plain clothes, you live in a small apartment because you're smart. You're not trying to blow your money just to look cool and flashy and shit. You save your money, buy what you need. So people are going to think you're broke, and women are not going to like you. They want to impress the Jones. They want to impress their friends on Instagram. And if you're just just a regular guy who just cares about the necessities, good luck. The world operates on this hierarchy. So, like, if you don't have the stuff that makes you appear to be successful, people are just going to think you're not. And I'm not trying to impress no bitch. Like, I live for me. Bitch, take it or leave it. I'm not going to drive around in a fancy car just to, like, make girls like me. I'm not going to wear certain clothes just to make girls like me. The only thing I do is work out so that my body looks good so I can wear whatever I want. Yeah, man, choosing your peace is a full-time job. And, like, you kind of have to bob and weave, dude. Like, people are going to look for you. Once you give them silence, they're going to come out the woodwork. But it's not because they like you. It's because they don't want you to win. They don't want you to learn how to exist without them.